Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host Nathan P. Butler. 3 episodes are being recorded in quick succession here, so that we can take a look at a few different really oddball things that have found their way into my Star Wars Home Video Library over there, as opposed to the book library behind me, in recent days. First, we're going to take a look at something that ties back into what we covered relatively recently, and that is the UK VHS releases of Ewoks. I know, Ewoks, but still, we're just going to look at something really quick here that's from Season 2. Oh, that's even worse. Basically, when we were talking about Ewoks from the UK getting a VHS release, except, of course, for the one episode out of each season that had to be left out to make room for them all to show up on VHS, the last one we looked at was Ewoks Volume 6 from the UK, and how this one has the larger stories, the full episode stories from Season 2, which is a season in which many episodes, in fact most episodes, instead of having one story per episode, had it split down the middle for 2 shorter stories per episode. These are the ones that were full. We had Battle for the Sunstar, The Season Scepter, The Rach, and Night of the Stranger. And that kind of rounded things out for this series. I mentioned, though, that there was a mail-away thing that happened at the same time, back in 1988. Again, couple years before we got any releases of Ewoks in the US, the UK was already getting them and getting a lot more than we would, at least thus far, ever see. You can actually see a little bit about the promotion that was going on in Star Wars Year by Year. This here is the newest version, sans its slipcase here, of Star Wars Year by Year. I love these Year by Year books, by the way. Got the Star Wars one, the Marvel one, the DC one. What was the other one? The Batman one. Love these things. I've got all the different editions of this one now, having hunted down not just the expanded and updated edition, which is the new one, but also just the one I think was just called Updated or whatever. But if you go to 1988, they have a little segment up here at the top, there with Blix, where it shows this promotion. And it says, Rare Collectibles, Dairylea produces limited edition Ewoks and Droids packaging, while a rare series of action figures is released in Brazil. And what you've got there is Dairylea, which is a company that produced cheese products, putting out basically little packages of 6 triangles of 85 grams each. Triangles, I guess, being little wedges of cheese. And I'm guessing it's 85 grams per. And it says, Ewoks or Droids videotapes only $1.99 each. Now that's $1.99 in terms of pounds, not dollars, of course, because this is happening in the UK. And then the different cheese wedges had character faces on them, like Winda, C-3PO, R2-D2, and so forth. A little bit strange. Then again, I'm speaking as an American, and in the US, we have all kinds of crazy shit with Star Wars labels on it that's really sometimes kind of creepy, like that weird Jar Jar Binks tongue sucker thing. So maybe cheese shouldn't be so unusual at this point. But if you sent off that mail-away information, you could receive in the mail a copy of one episode of Ewoks Season 2 on a single special VHS, kind of like going through Kellogg's to get that Making of Star Wars release. The tape in question is this one. Ewoks Night of the Stranger, or as they call it here, Night of the Strangers. For some reason they made it plural. They had one episode to talk about, and they still got it wrong. You notice here the packaging art is very similar between Volume 6 that has Night of the Stranger spelled correctly, and the one episode release that has it spelled incorrectly. Otherwise, the package is relatively different. It's just that artwork that's used that's similar. So we have our title up here, Night of the Strangers, Ewoks, with the compliments of Dairylea. CBS Fox and the U down there noting that it's suitable for everyone. Now, may I say, anytime I look at this, my first thought when I see what it says there, Dairylea, I guess that's how you're supposed to pronounce it, Dairylea, I usually look at that and my instinct is to think that it says diarrhea, which is kind of ironic, I think that's the right word for it, given the fact that I myself am lactose intolerant and suffer from IBS. Put those two together, and, well, any kind of product coming from cheese, yeah, diarrhea might actually be appropriate. Anyway, I know, TMI, too much information. So we have our cover there, our side designed very much like the Ewoks season set, just with no volume number. Same on the other side here. The back, though, is very different. The back is much more promotional, in this case, than it is about what's actually inside the product. So, let's run through here. We've got, now, save up to £2 on a selection of 90 minutes. Ewoks and Droids videotapes with Dairylea. You know what also makes the diarrhea thing appropriate is it is Season 2 of Ewoks, so they're kind of on the mark calling it diarrhea, if that was what they had tried to do, but of course they didn't. I digress again. Special Dairylea price, $7.99 International Post and Dispatch. Then lots and lots of text. We hope you enjoyed this exciting Ewoks adventure brought to you with the compliments of Dairylea, Britain's favorite cheese spread. Okay. It's almost like, it makes me feel like, buy this Obi-Wan Kenobi action figure through Cheese Whiz. I'm like, what? If you do, notice it's a big if here. If you do, you may be interested to know that a selection of 6 90-minute Ewoks and Droids videotapes are available from all good videotape retailers at the manufacturer's recommended price of $9.99. Again, that's in pounds. But you can save up to £2 on each videotape by collecting 3 tokens from special packs of Dairylea or 3 A Good Source of Calcium statements from regular packs. Simply complete the enclosed order form or write on a plain sheet of paper your name, address, number of videos, and video titles you require. Not that you want, that you require, of course. Remember to let us know whether you want VHS or Betamax tapes. Send your order together with a check, that is CHEQUE, because this is the UK, or post an order for $7.99 and 3 special tokens or 3 A Good Source of Calcium statements for each videotape you order to, and it gives the address to send it to in the UK there. Make your check or postal order payable to Dairylea Video Offer. Offer closes 31 March 1989. So, produced in 88, available through the order up through the early part of 1989. Please allow 28 days from receipt of your order for delivery of your tapes. And it then lists the individual tapes. We've looked at the Ewok ones. You have number 1, Morak's Revenge. Number 2, The Goopits and the Jindas. Number 3, Wicket the Hero. Number 4, Wicket's Adventures as he becomes a warrior. There's only 2 listed for droids at this point, though there would eventually be 4. We have The Great Heap, which we already looked at, and Droids 1, The Battle Against Sice Fromm. The promoter says it's Kraft Foods Limited. Continues on from there, based on characters created by George Lucas, and so on and so on and so on. Copyright of 1995, of course, the tape itself, copyright of 1988. So, we have here essentially a companion piece, but unfortunately, it's not giving you the one missing episode from the series run. It's just repeating an episode from the last tape of the series run, which is an unfortunate missed opportunity here. As to the tape, it's in there a little tight. Very basic, no label. Label there, Ewoks, Not the Strangers, with the compliments of Dairylea. And then the U there. Notice also, because of the limited contents, that this has those larger spools, or whatever you want to call them, for the limited amount of tape actually involved in this cassette. So now, this actually makes it a complete UK set of the VHS releases from 1988 of Ewoks in their original formats. So, eventually, hopefully, I'll maybe find the Droids version of these, but I'm not getting my hopes up because those are very hard to get your hands on. But Ewoks, though, is done, even if it's compliments of Season 2 and Dairylea. Somewhere out there, someone from that company is like, I hate you. I'm going to put it in the comments that I hate you. Don't hate on our cheese, man. Or something like that. With that, though, I'm getting out of here before the Cheese Brigade comes and takes me out. Thank you for watching. May the Force be with the home video viewers.